What's going on, guys? Alex here with 814 ADC, and today I'm ready to do my full review on the Highwater Knives Estuary. Now, this version is the button lock flipper version. They also are making or have made an automatic, button actuated out the side automatic, fully USA made, which is really, really cool. You can see right there, made in the USA. It's in CPM 154. Their little logo. You guys can see it has kind of that bacon sort of textured milled blade going on there. Nice aluminum with some rippling in it. Kind of a Tanto style blade. If you guys remember me doing my unboxing, I definitely said that this wasn't my cup of tea when it comes to the aesthetics necessarily, but from a fit and finish quality, and a build quality, this thing really did impress me, especially because Highwater Knives is a newer, knife brand in the world of EDC knives. And I think for, their first product, I think that they have, a very, very good, thing going for them. So we're going to jump right into the review. Starting off with materials, like I said, rocking a CPM 154. I wanted to say 154 CM, which I think I did on the unboxing, so I apologize for that. But a CPM 154 blade comes in at 3.55 inches, so about a 3.5 inch blade. I'm going to call this a Tanto. You guys can see it has really nice mirror polish edge put on it by somebody before me. Has that nice texture, sort of, again, bacon, milling going on. I'm not, I wouldn't want this on every single one of my knives, but I really do like it, on these sort of, high-end, sort of custom-made, USA-made knives. Again, button lock, you have aluminum right there, nice texturing. You have a reversible clip. The clip I really, really don't like. It is just a flat spoon clip, and I am not a fan of flat spoon clips. I think they're, kind of trash, but like this is just kind of like an afterthought of the knife. I feel like, they definitely kind of just put this on there afterwards. They kind of just slapped a cheap clip on there, so not a fan of that. But overall, for materials, made in the USA, CPM 154. You have aluminum scales right there. Comes in weighing just under 4 ounces. Has a nice kind of weight to it. It definitely feels substantial in your hand. Some other hardware, so you have 440C caged axial bearings and a hardened stainless pivot. The button is 440C material. Like I said, 61 T6 aluminum. 4.7 inches close, so that would make it just about 8 inches overall. Stainless hardware and an ambidextrous tip-up clip, which we've already talked about. So it's going to get a 5 out of 5 on the materials. And if I didn't mention already, I will leave a link to Highwater Knives website down below. For some reason, when you click on products and when you click on, it only gives you 2 different options, the button lock as well as the automatic. For some reason, when you click on the, shop flipper, it doesn't show up. So I don't know what's going on, but you can buy the automatic on the website. I think they're out of stock there right now. But I'm still going to leave a link to the website down below if you guys are interested. Definitely go check them out. You guys can see one reason why I haven't dropped any videos in a little while. It's kind of off topic, but I've been kind of sporadic with my videos. You guys can see right there. My wife and I did get a dog, Miss Nora. She is 10 months old. She is a golden doodle. So we've just been pretty busy with her, getting her acclimated to, our lifestyle and, our family and just living with us. So I've been pretty busy there, but it's been a really good addition to my everyday carry now, is having a dog. I'm a huge dog guy. My wife and I were kind of waiting for the perfect time for a dog. And she just happened to come along at the, the right time, and she checked all the boxes for us. So now we have here in our lives Miss Nora. So I apologize for that, but she was in the room with me, and I felt her go behind me, and she loves to look out these windows. So figured I'd point her out to you guys. But next up is aesthetic. Like I've already said multiple times, not the best looking knife in my opinion. I will say it definitely has grown on me a little bit, but I'm still not going to go not going to give it a very high score. I really do like the texturing on the blade. Don't get me wrong. That is very, very cool. And I love when I see that on different things. You have, some nice rippling and texturing going on in the aluminum. But overall, I'm just not a huge fan of how the knife flows. And I just, the Tanto style blade is all right, but it's just definitely not my cup of tea. So I'm going to go 3.5. I think that's, it's a little bit low from the aesthetic department, but like I said, just not something I'm going to go out of my way to probably buy. And I'm like, even when I knew I was getting this in, I would always see them and I'm like, man, they're I'm not going to say they're ugly, but they're just, again, you have to really enjoy, how the knife looks, in my opinion, to purchase one of these. But next up is Action. And Action, I definitely think, makes up for the aesthetic, in my opinion. The detent on this is very, very tight. You have a nice snappy detent. I can't get it out of there, but you guys can hear. It's kind of hard to do with the slipper tab, but you definitely have, no jumping up there, but I would have liked to seen a little bit. But honestly, it's really hard to fail this knife. You just build pressure, and you can either do the push button, which is what I typically do, or you can do the light switch. Either way works fine. You can do it lefty or righty. And it definitely has a really stout detent, which was fantastic. I really like to see that. A little bit of blade play going on, but not much. But it really does rocket out of there. I mean, it's definitely a satisfying knife to fidget with. When I first got this in, I was, fidgeting with it a ton, and it got a lot of pocket time and a lot of couch time. The button is a little bit small, but you get used to it, and it sits nice and kind of flush there with the scales. Just depress it, I guess. Depress it. I can't talk right now. But you just, push in the button, and it just drops nice. Goes home. Push it again. Drops. Goes home. So as far as, flipper tab, button locks go, especially made in the USA, small batch, it's really, really good. So I'm going to give that an easy 5. Definitely impressed with how snappy the detent is and how addictive. I mean, button locks in general are addictive. With this one, you just get nice acoustics, which we're going to talk about next. Just a really nice resounding snap, kind of a thwack. But yeah, 5 out of 5 on the Action. Next up is acoustics, like I just said. And the one thing that it's missing is just kind of that high pitchedness. But of course, with aluminum, it's kind of going to, dull that down a little bit. Titanium is where you really get that nice high pitched sort of rings and tings and so have you. But this is really good. I mean, you guys can hear it is thundering out of there. It comes out with authority. You can hear it on the close. So that's pretty much perfect for me, besides, again, getting those high-pitched, noises. So that is a 4.5. Again, pretty much perfect for me, but I'm not going to give it a full 5 because I got to be fair here and be transparent. But 4.5 on the acoustics. Next up is ergos. Now, as much as I'm not a fan of the aesthetic, I will say the ergos on this are pretty comfortable. The lines on the handle, it gets kind of skinny in here and it gets fatter towards the rear end, and then it tapers off to this nice point down here. The texturing adds a lot of grip on both sides to your hand. The paw clip, as much as I don't like it, it really is nice in the ergo department because it is not causing a hot spot by any means. Hey, it's okay, Nora. Don't bark at people. It's okay. Nora's interrupting the filming again. Hey, buddy, it's okay. Oh, I haven't seen her do that. You guys can see she's standing up at the window. I think dogs are the coolest thing. My family has a dog. My wife's family, my parents have a dog. My wife's parents have a dog. My wife's sister has a dog. So we, are huge dog people, and we love getting to spend time with them. We've, watched different, their dogs in different ways while they're on trips and stuff like that. And again, I think dogs are just the coolest thing. And it's still like a little bit weird getting used to like having our own dog, because normally, like I said, we're just so used to watching our family's dogs, and it's just like, oh, she'll only be here for like a week, 2 weeks, and then she's gone. But no, now, we have our own dog to take care of, and she's not leaving. So it's kind of cool. Well, it's definitely cool, but it's just taking a little bit to get used to. But where was I? Ergos with the paw clip. It does not cause a hot spot whatsoever, because I mean, look how flush that is sitting to the scale. But I can get all 4 fingers in the knife. very, very easily, not squished or anything like that. You have a nice little thumb ramp right there, and then your pointer finger lands right behind the flipper tab for a nice little natural restriction point. Very, very comfortable in the saber grip, in the hammer grip. You can choke up to utilize this sort of flipper choil. You can wrap your pointer finger around there. The rest of your fingers follow suit behind it. Your thumb can land right out here in the middle of the blade, either on the downward side of the ramp, or it can land way out here on the sort of middle to end part of the blade for really good push cut, control and grippage. But all in all, it's very, very comfortable. Again, the hot spot from the paw clip is non-existent. Probably one of the, again, as much as I do not like it because it doesn't really work as that well in my opinion, and it's just kind of a cheap one thrown on there, I personally think it really, really works in the ergo department, which is very, very important with knives, obviously. You want it to be comfortable when you're using it for cutting. So as far as the ergos go, we're getting back in the 5 department here, 5 out of 5 for the ergos. Next up is carry. And that's where the paw clip comes into play. And with as much, or as little leverage as you have, you have about that much sticking up out of your pocket, which not the end of the world for most people. For me, I really don't like it. It definitely, and I say this in a lot of videos that have, in my reviews, that have mill titanium clips, that have a little bit of knife sticking up out of your pocket. I have grown to be okay with them. I definitely prefer, a deep carry clip. But as far as, a little bit of screws and, knife tips sticking up out of your pocket, not the end of the world. But, it's okay. I really didn't like this because this is so tight to the scale. It is hard. You guys can see I'm ripping my fingernail apart trying to get underneath this. You just have no clearance. So you have to wear this in pretty thin pants to really be effective, in my opinion. It's pretty lightweight for what it is. You don't have any internal milling going on. So, it's, like I said earlier, it's just under 4 ounces listed on the website. And in hand, it has a nice substantial amount of weight to it. So in pocket, you can definitely, you can tell it's there, but it's not bad by any means. Get your ball, buddy. Sorry, I keep getting distracted. I apologize for talking about dogs so much, but another thought that just popped into my head is when you get a new dog, every time she leaves the room and then comes back with something and is excited, you automatically, I have grown to look every single time and snap my head and be like, okay, is that a toy? Or is that something that she shouldn't have, she's chewing on? Luckily, she brought a toy in this time, not a TV remote that she destroyed a couple days ago, but I digress, I apologize. We're gonna get through this video, we're almost done. Carry, I'm not gonna talk about it anymore. We'll go 3.5. I don't want to be too harsh. Now, next up and lastly is price point / value / what I recommend this knife. So according to their website, which again, it's not showing up for some reason. It's saying it's page not found. I don't know why that's happening. I'm going to double check and see how much the automatic costs. So the automatic costs $335. I think earlier when I got this knife in, when I checked, I think it was right around there. So we'll say $330, $335. I think that's a fair price. Again, you're getting a small batch, made in the USA, new company button lock flipper that is really well made. Besides some, things that I'm not a fan of, like the aesthetics, which is to each their own, and to the clip. This knife has really, besides those two 3.5s, it's gotten a 5, a 5, a 5, and a 4.5. So, the build quality of the knife is there. I think it's a good value. I'm not going to run out and buy it myself, but I have definitely really appreciated having it in and getting to check it out because I really was curious about it. And definitely the detent and the action surprised me for how snappy it is. So that is definitely a plus. So I'm okay with the price, a little bit above $300. I do think that's a fair value. Any more than that, I would kind of be iffy about it, but I think it's fair because again, it's a startup company. This is their first model, and they really are making a nice, high quality, well-built product here. So value, I think this is okay. And can I recommend it to anybody? Absolutely. I'm just going to come out and say it. You have to be, excuse me, you have to be a fan of how this knife looks, I think, for you to buy it. If you think to yourself, man, Alex, that looks like a good looking knife, then I would say go for it. I think you're really going to enjoy it. So, I think if you're a fan of the aesthetics and the fan of the looks of this knife, you're absolutely going to love it because it really is well made, great action, great ergos. Carry is all right, but I'm sure you could kind of think of some way to add a deep carry clip on here that had the 2 screws set up like this. I'm sure there's other ways to do stuff like that. So as far as price point and value, I'm going to give it a 5. I think that that's a very, very fair assessment of it. Yeah, let me count these up real quick, and then I'll get you guys a score, and we'll be out of here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, guys, according to my quick math right here, I have the Highwater Knives Estuary coming in a 31.5, which lands it in the great category. It has it tied with the Vossi Mini Nightshade, the CMB TNB, the ATK Halt, the QSB Capybara, and the Kunwu Chad. So definitely some good knives in there, and I think that, being in the great category is a-okay for this. I have definitely, again, grown to like it, and just a small couple things that I think can be fixed. But I think this is, a great model, especially for Highwater Knives being their first model. I think they're well on their way to being very successful, and I cannot wait to see with, some other models they come out with. So, but yeah, I'm going to wrap this up now, but this was my full review on the Highwater Knives Estuary. Huge shout out to Kevin over at Lefty EDC for allowing us to check this out. You guys know Kev is the GOAT for allowing us smaller channels to getting, a lot of content in for you guys. But yeah, I'm going to wrap this up now. So thank you guys again so much for watching. I greatly appreciate each and every single one of you guys. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your morning, day, evening, night, whenever you're watching this. And I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.